Alright guys, this question here is asking us it says Alice, Bob, and Charlie were on a hike and were wondering how far away the nearest town was. When Alice said, "We are at least 6 miles away," Bob replied, "We are at most 5 miles away." Charlie then remarked, "Actually, the nearest town is at most 4 miles away." It turned out that none of these three statements were true. Let D be the distance in miles to the nearest town. Which of the following intervals is the set of all possible values of D? So first of all, these guys look like they're getting into a lot of fights with each other, getting things wrong. All right, but regardless, let's get into the problem right here. Okay. So we know that all these ones are wrong. All right. So let's see all the intervals. In order to find which ones are right, we have to find which ones are wrong, all right? And that's one of the most important things in solving problems, all right? So let's go. So we are at least 6 miles away. So we are at least 6 miles away. So at least means 6 is the smallest possible one, all right? So 6 is the smallest possible one. And infinity, it can go all the way to infinity, right? Because if we're at least 6 miles away, it could be more than 6 miles away, but we're at least 6 miles away, alright? So that interval is 6 all the way into infinity, alright? So this one, 6 to infinity does not work, okay? So let's cross out the one that most resembles 6 to infinity. Well, look right here. Infinity, right? It's going all the way to infinity. We know that it's wrong, right? We can't go all the way to infinity. So we can cross out E right here. Okay? Let's say we're at most 5 miles away, alright? So at most 5 miles away, that means we could be 0 miles away, we could be 1, 2, but at most we are 5 miles away, alright? So we're going to 0 all the way till 5. So 0 to 5. And here, let's just keep solving, alright? Then Charlie then remarked, "Actually, the nearest town is at most 4 miles away, alright? Nearest town is at most 4 miles away." So, what does that mean? It could be 0 miles, it could be 1 mile, it could be 2 miles, or it could be 4 miles, but it can't be more than 4 miles because we're at most 4 miles, alright? So that interval right there is going to be 0 to 4. Alright, and let's start crossing stuff out, okay? So we know it can't be 0 to 4 because right here we just established that 0 to 4 is not true. So we're going to cross this one out right here. And so 0 to 5, well, that's basically the same thing as 0 to 4, except we're going 4 to 5, alright? So this one right here is basically the same thing as this right here, except for the fact that it can go greater than 4, but only in between 5, alright? So, and we already know that this one is wrong, so that means in between 4 and 5 would also be wrong. So this one right here is showing us in between 4 and 5, so we can just go ahead and cross that one out. Okay? And so we know right here, this one right here says 4 and 6, right? But guess what? 4 and 6 includes all the values between 4 and 5, alright? So that means and we just established that this one is wrong right here. So that means this one also must be wrong, alright? And so our only answer left is here, and this is the correct answer. And even if we just solve for this answer, we can tell why this one is right, alright? Because we're at most 5 miles away. Well, this one is not. This one is more than 5 miles, alright? It says we're at most 4 miles away. Well, this one's also more than 4 miles. Alright, and this one says we are at least 6 miles away, as in 6 is the least. Well, this one doesn't include any values greater than 6. So we know that this answer is correct.